interesting week for the pond this week. I've spent the whole week trying to get some nitrite levels down. That's my fault. I was silly last week and overfed the fish, and here we are. So now I've spent probably the last week doing large water changes, putting more filter start in, the Evolution Aqua pure start stuff, and still, I'm still trying to get rid of it. It's being very persistent. So it's about 0.5 parts per million now. But yeah, it just won't go. Just won't go. As you can see, the pond itself is fine. The fish haven't been fed since last week, to the beginning of this week, and they won't be until I can get this under control. So yeah, water's not quite as clear as it normally is. I've got the UV off because of the filter start, and I've also been putting pond detox in there fairly regularly, so it's not quite, it's not too bad, but it's not quite as clear as it normally is. The fish are all quite lethargic, and I sort of put that down more to the fact that I've not fed them because they want feeding, but they can't have it. So yeah, this is what I mean. The nitrite issue. Other than that, like I say, everything's sort of working fine. We did have a bit of an issue where the air stones weren't circulating properly in the moving beds. They kept, because there was nothing, they weren't attached to anything, they just kind of kept banging against the side, and they wouldn't move around properly, so I've sort of cable tied them onto a bit of a frame now, so they are doing a better job of moving the media around, and the sponges that you can see sort of rotating in there is what I've put a lot of the filter start onto, just to try and keep it in here rather than it. The gel is, I imagine it's quite mobile. It just goes straight into the pump at the bottom and fire out into the pond. So hopefully that works. This hose here is just going there just to move the surface of the water a bit and add a bit more pull through the filter. So that's a 3,500 litre pump, and I've been thinking about adding a second pump of about that to power, to work the shower that I'm going to put on the back of the pond eventually. But that has helped actually, because now there's the 10,000 and the 3,500 on there, and I'm getting decent flow through both the skimmer and the bottom drain. So I think that's definitely the way to go. The drum is brilliant, and it's really started to trip off more often now, so I think we're kind of out of that honeymoon period where the pond is new and therefore there isn't much to go. But if I trip it off manually, it's certainly sort of getting rid of stuff now. So yeah, couldn't be happy with the drum. I just got to get rid of this nitrite. Sail is also working great. I'm really pleased with it actually. And the camera as well actually. It's all working fine. I think it's fair to say the plants are really enjoying the pond. I mean, that's the thing, I have got nitrate in the pond of a reasonable level as well, so there's clearly some bacteria there that's converting nitrite. It's just obviously not enough. but it does kind of seem that no matter how much filter start I put in and water changes I do, it doesn't seem to be shifting. So not really sure what that's about. Here's a bit of a close-up of that sensor for the water top-up. It's a non-contact sensor, it's a proximity sensor that you can adjust the distance it senses from, well, by moving up and down, but also there's an adjustment screw on the back for tuning it in. So that doesn't actually touch the water. It's low voltage. Someone asked me the question on the last video, which was actually a very good question because I didn't say that it was low voltage. Yeah, 240 in a pond. No, don't do that. They're 24 volt DC sensors. It doesn't touch the water, and what it does is it actually sends a signal back to the RDF, which is then opens a relay and lets 24 volts DC again go through to the solenoid valve that's behind the pond there. When doing large water changes, that solenoid valve gets quite warm, well, very warm. So I've just stuck a heatsink on top of it just to try and get rid of some of that. I don't want to burn it out. So it just rests on top, but it will help. So that's all good. I think I'll be doing a video on what I would do differently, because there's always something you do differently with anything you do, and the lessons I've learned from doing the pond. But this is one that I'd like to show you now. So this is the corner of the pond, and here you can see the yes, that's my concrete collar, and yes, that's a crack I can get my finger into. So that's not great. It surprises me because it was 7 inches thick in depth, and obviously sort of would have been 5 inches wide. So there's a substantial bit of concrete, and I do have a crack on the other corners as well. So you can see there's a little one here, little one. So yeah, I wish I had put some rebar in it, but you know, you live and learn. I'm not too concerned about it, partly because there's not an awful lot that I can do about it that will be particularly effective. I could dig down and try and underpin it, but by doing so I'll be getting close to the liner, and removing the soil underneath there is what's holding that liner, supporting that liner. So I don't really want to do that. I'm kind of figuring that leaving it alone is probably for the best at this stage. If the pond starts moving, then maybe I'll have to do something about it. But you know, I could try pinning it, drilling it, and putting a length of threaded rod through there with epoxy resin on it. But you know, if you think about the forces that's managed to break that concrete in the first place, I'm not sure I would do much good. So we're going to leave it for now.